welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through my March TBR, and as always I do my own pick. I do 2 Kindle spins, 2 physical spins and 1 prompt wheel spin, and also Gumball machine, which I haven't really been using recently, so hopefully March is the month where I get back into it. We will see, but let's start with the book that I picked for myself. Okay, the book I picked myself is Always With You by Harmony West, and this is actually the February romance Butterfly Book Club box. This, honestly, it looks gorgeous. It's a stunning book. I will link my unboxing for this if you want to see more of it, but I just love the sound of this, so I was like, you know what, this is going to be in my March TBR because oh my god. But anyway, the synopsis isn't in the book that I can find, so I do have it here on my iPad, so I will read out the synopsis. The first boy I ever loved might be a murderer. After Sophie Mariano, God, I'm bad with names. After Sophie Mariano disappeared, I took the perfect life she left behind. The spot on the cheer squad, the friend, and the gorgeous boyfriend. But now Sophie's brother Miles is back and he's looking for his missing sister. He's staying with his grandma in my duplex, which means there's nothing but a door separating us each night. I should be afraid of him. Everyone thinks he killed his sister, but I'm not afraid of Miles. I'm afraid of how much I want him. There is one person I am afraid of, though. Whoever's sending me creepy anonymous messages and photos. They're following me around town, to work, to my house. According to Miles, the same thing happened to Sophie before she disappeared. Whoever was stalking her is now stalking me. The DMs escalate to vandalism, blackmail, break-ins, and death threats. My stalker wants to ruin my life. They want to break me. They want me dead. If Miles and I don't figure out what happened to Sophie and who's been stalking us both, I'll be the next girl to disappear. That sounds so good, and I am very excited to read this. Usually, the past couple of times I've gotten Butterfly Book Club, it's been like parts of series like Pretty Little Psycho, that's in a series, like The Silence Lies, I think that was a duology, but I didn't read the second book. And I think, oh yeah, Love and Curse Making, that is part of a trilogy, so I haven't really been able to read those yet, but this is a standalone from what it looks like on Amazon, so 100% going to be reading this. It's gorgeous, it sounds amazing, so yeah, I'm very excited for this, but let's move on to the first wheel spin, and I'm going to be starting with the physical books. Okay, let's start with the very first wheel spin, and again, this is physical book, so let's go. A Whole New World. Okay, I will go grab that. I believe it's on the shelf behind me, so I'll go get it. A Whole New World by Liz Braswell. I think this has been on my TBR a few times, but I will still read the synopsis. Discover what would have happened if Aladdin had never found the lamp. Aladdin is a street rat just trying to survive in a harsh city, while Jasmine is a beautiful princess about to enter an arranged marriage. Their worlds collide when the Sultan's trusted advisor suddenly rises to power and, with the help of a mysterious lamp, attempts to gain control over love and death. Together, Aladdin and Jasmine must unite to stop power-hungry Jafar tearing the kingdom apart in this story of love, power, and one moment that changes everything. It sounds so good, and I cannot wait. I've loved all of these books by multiple different authors. It's kind of like a series, but I have loved all of them so far, so I'm sure I will love this. I'm hoping. We are now on to the second wheel spin for the physical books. The Fairy's Tale. Okay, I'll go grab that. The Fairy's Tale by F.D. Lee. Sounds really good already just from this. It's part of a trilogy. I'm not sure what order it goes in, but I do have the other 2 books, oh god, here. But obviously, I'll only read the synopsis for book 1. So, let's read the synopsis. Whoever said fairy tales were easy has never been a wannabe fairy godmother. The truth is, making dreams come true can be a total nightmare. Bee is a lowly cabbage fairy, but she dreams of being a godmother. So when Bee is finally given a chance to prove her worth, she is determined to make a success of it. Besides, how hard can it be? Every girl wants to be rescued by a handsome man, don't they? Apparently not. Bee's heroine doesn't want to be in her story, and her hero is much more interested in the ugly sister. The same ugly sister who is trying to overthrow the kingdom. Suddenly, Bee must confront the fact that her characters are as real as she is, and just like her, they are determined to go their own way. The problem is, if B fails to finish the story, she faces a fate much worse than being put to sleep for 100 years. Now B must figure out what happily ever after really means, and whose happy ever after she's prepared to fight for. I stumbled a lot, but sounds so good. Very excited. And I wonder if it's like different characters for different books, or maybe it follows B throughout the whole journey. I don't really want to have a little look and potentially spoil it, so we will leave it, but it does sound really good and I am very excited to start this book. And now we're on to the first Kindle spin. Lies Within Me. Okay, I'll get the synopsis up. Okay, the synopsis. Your attacker is murdered. Did you do it? When her friends drag Alice out to a speed dating night, she has no inkling just how bad it will turn out to be. The next day, Alice wakes up in a stranger's house with no memory of the night's events, just a terrible feeling. After returning home, she finds a bloodied knife in her room, and hears the news that the man who must have drugged and assaulted her has been found dead. Alice falls under suspicion, not least from herself, but was she really capable of such an act? And if she didn't commit the crime, who did? That sounds really good, so excited for that. It's a psychological thriller, and I love psychological thrillers much more than I do any other thriller. I don't know what it is, I just like psychological ones. I can't explain it. They're just more my jam. So, very excited for that one. And now we're doing the last Kindle spin. Savage Little Games. I believe that is a series, but we will find out when I get the synopsis up. I was right. It is part of a series. It's 4 books, so I will try my best to get to it this month, but I might not. We will have to see because it's 4 books, and I think I've got 1 or 2 arcs to get through first, so you'll kind of see where I'm at and if I can pick up a 4-book series. But anyway, synopsis, and it's quite long, so I will most likely stumble, so bear with me. In an ironic twist of fate, I found myself entangled in Dante Salvato's world. The ruthless Mafia King is no stranger to violence, but when he lays his eyes on my bruised and battered face, he's furious. I thought my makeup was thick enough to cover the beating I suffered until my inappropriately flirtatious boss noticed. As a cocktail waitress in his casino, I've always been on Mr. Salvato's radar, but now he's obsessed, demanding to know who hurt me and why, intent on making them suffer. When Dante discovers that my boyfriend Mitch not only owes money to another vicious Vegas mobster, but is also cheating on me, he offers him one hell of a deal. Dante will pay off Mitch's debt in exchange for the one thing he wants more than anything, me. Dante's offer requires me to spend the next 76 days and nights with him, one for every $1,000 of Mitch's debt. When I refuse, Dante promises to kill Mitch right then and there for being the one ultimately responsible for my bruises. Desperate to avoid bloodshed even after I've seen the evidence of Mitch's betrayal, I reluctantly accept Dante's deal with one stipulation. I warn the arrogant bastard that I will never, under any circumstance, sleep with him. Now I just have to resist the mob boss of 76 days and nights while he uses every weapon in his arsenal to try and change my mind. That sounds really good. Really interesting as well, so. And it's 4 books, so I wonder what could go on. Like, I'm intrigued. I have to admit, I'm very intrigued. I'm still stumbling. I'm not even reading anything. Yeah, I'm intrigued. So maybe I will pick this up because I have to say I want to read this now, but no, I have some things to read before I dive into a series. But I probably will get to this now that I've read the synopsis because that sounds really good. And now we're on to the very last wheel spin, which is the prompt wheel. Author I've never read before. That'd be pretty easy because there's a whole load behind me, but I'll go get it and I will be back. So I picked Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Moira Fowley Doyle. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Obviously a book by an author I've never read before. This has been on my TBR for far too long, so it's about time I got round to it. But anyway, I'll read the synopsis. One stormy summer night, Olive and her best friend Rose began to lose things. It starts with simple items like hair clips and jewellery, but soon it's clear that Rose has lost something bigger, something she won't talk about. Then Olive meets 3 wild, mysterious strangers, Ivy, Hazel and Rowan. Like Rose, they're mourning losses and holding tight to secrets. When they discover the ancient spellbook full of hand-inked charms to conjure back lost things, they realise it might be their chance to set everything right, unless it's leading them towards secrets that were never meant to be found. It sounds so good, so very, very excited for that. Very excited. As I said, it's been on my TBR for far too long, and I think it's nearing 2 years now, so I need to read it, but I'm hoping it's good, because for all I know my taste might have changed by now, but I'm hoping they haven't, so nervous but excited to start it. Okay, to recap, these are all the physical books, and of course the Kindle books that I'm also going to be reading, hopefully anyway. I will say that there is one book on the physical part that I 100% want to read, and that is Always With You. Like, this is a priority read for me, so definitely going to be reading that. Maybe at the start of March, maybe. I'm hoping anyway. Depends if I'm reading something that goes from the end of February into March, if you know what I mean. But anyway, that is definitely a priority read. And that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit the bell notification to get notified when I post. And I'll see you in the next video.